This is your WCIA 3 forecast first, sponsored by CIBM Bank.
We continue to keep some cloud cover and have some drizzly flurries and light snow showers out there. There's a look at Effingham right now. You can see roads overall look clear, but with temperatures where they are and some moisture on the roads, we are starting to see some more slick spots reappear here across the region. Teens along I-55, it's 15 in Lincoln, still 22 in Champaign, 25 right now in Mattoon. Bit of a north wind here, bringing in some cooler air in place. Feels like the single digits and low teens in most spots out there as those temperatures continue to drop and colder air works its way on in. Some of that moisture from earlier will cause some areas of black ice overnight tonight. Means we might have some problems on the roadways overnight and into the morning tomorrow. We'll talk about that, the big warm-up that's in store for the week, and how we bring back those rain chances into the forecast. I've got all those details for you coming up as WCIA 3 News at 9 starts right now.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 9 on X49.
It's amazing how the community makes this all possible.
For many, the holidays are a time for gifts, family, and good food. But for some, the holidays can be a bit lonely. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Scarlett O'Hara. Thanks to dedicated groups in Champaign County, some things can be checked off the holiday list. WCIA 3's Ariana Williams visited one of those groups today and has more.
The day after Christmas is usually reserved for relaxing around new items and leftovers. But for James Dobbins with Daily Bread, it's another day to make sure all people are given the help they need.
The soup kitchen provides a hot four-course hot meal to guests, but that just takes care of their immediate needs. And so for the assistance program, we try and take care of other needs.
And those other needs is where Dobbins comes in. The retired epidemiologist, now assistance program chief, has been working with the soup kitchen for the past 10 years. People come in and sit down and get a hot meal, and they leave with the tools to help them move up.
You can't get a job without a state ID, state identification card. We pay for that, and we do the application with them.
They also provide their clients with birth certificates, mailing addresses, and needed items for their new jobs. The Daily Bread is open every day of the week, and days in between holidays are no different. When Dobbins leaves here, his work for the community isn't done. Throughout the month, clients have been requesting bus passes, and he's using the day most people take off to grant their wishes.
Today is the day that we distribute them. And so as soon as we finish here, I'll go down to MTD customer service and meet those guests.
Dobbins has dedicated his entire life to helping people. Whether it's a holiday or the day after, helping out with the soup kitchen is something that he will always find the time to do.
I really enjoy working. I really enjoy helping people and talking to them. I get as much out of it or more than they get out of it.
The Daily Bread Soup Kitchen with meal pickup and assistance program is available 7 days a week. Sign up for the program is on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. More information about the soup kitchen can be found on our website. There was a crash on I-55 today. It happened near Divernon in Sangamon County. Southbound lanes were closed after a weather-related crash. The lanes have been reopened, but state police say to use caution because of the slick roads. State police are also asking you to do your part to make travel safe this holiday season. They say holiday travel means more drivers will be on the road and the potential for an increased number of crashes. Police say the four most common causes are driving under the influence, speeding, not wearing a seatbelt, and distracted driving. To avoid crashing, you should always designate a sober driver, use a ride-sharing service, keep your eyes on the road, and buckle up. Police also say to move over for any stationary vehicle with flashing lights. One warming center in Decatur is making sure people have a roof over their heads. They're also making sure they have the supplies they need to get through the cold winter. WCIA 3's Theodora Coulivaris has the story.
On an average day, the Oasis Day and Resource Center sees around 100 people seeking shelter from the cold. But this past weekend, they saw close to 120 people.
We're definitely seeing an influx in clients, but not just an influx in the fact that they need to get out of the cold, but services are so much more important.
When people arrive, they can grab a pair of gloves, hats, towels, and even soaps. And many of those items come from community donations.
Even outside of the community, individuals and groups and churches that provide those type of things. We didn't run out of socks. We didn't run out of hats. We've got time to re-up so that we can be here for that next blast.
For anyone who walks in the center, the Oasis meets with them to determine what resources they need. They also offer other services, including employment assistance and help with substance abuse. But before they can get help with those issues, the director says they need a roof over their head.
Without solid shelter and housing, you're not going to be able to get past the other barriers. That's a approach known as housing first.
To help them get that permanent housing, they work with Homeward Bound. That group meets with people who come to the center to find them a place to stay.
It was our goal to say, okay, do you have a place to be tonight? And one by one, meet those individuals right where they were at, so that when we closed, clear conscience and a clear heart, that they had somewhere to go, and the risk of harm would be lessened.
Anyone looking for a warm place to stay can go to the center, and they're open from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day. And it's the season of giving, and one Champaign nonprofit is thanking Meyer for a $5,000 donation. That group is called DREAM, and it stands for Driven to Reach Excellence and Academic Achievement for Males. The announcement fell on the first day of Kwanzaa. The DREAM volunteer coordinator says each day of Kwanzaa celebrates a certain value, and today's theme is unity, which aligns with the vision of DREAM. The organization works with men from the ages of 3 to 24 to help them through educational and emotional struggles and more. One part of their mission is preparing dreamers for college and career success, and they say this donation will help them continue to do just that.
So today's focus is on unity, which is why we highlighted Meyer's donation in the spirit of unity in our community and supporting our youth. With their support, we are able to reach more of our youth and support more of our youth.
She says the money will fund a tour of historically black colleges and universities and help dreamers envision their futures. Still to come, a winter storm impacts travel for hundreds, including rescues in the Northeast. The dangerous conditions are part of what experts are calling a bomb cyclone. That's next. But first, Jacob Dickey has our weather forecast.
Yeah, that cyclone there was what brought us all that cold air, and still giving us some impacts now. Take a look at those impacts out the door. We've got areas of black ice that are concerned. We're going to call those impacts overnight tonight into the morning tomorrow at medium. We'll talk about what we expect and a big warm-up on the way. Those details coming up after this.
Now, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Jacob Dickey.
We've had some snow flurries and light snow showers over the past 24 hours, even a little bit of mist and drizzle out there. If you look at the roads here in Mattoon, they are wet right now. In some spots, especially like parking lots, side streets, less traveled roads, they're a bit slushy here. Here's where we may have some problems tonight. Notice our temperature. It's down to 22. Now, road crews, they're putting out a generous portion of salt. I've seen them even outside the station here on my way in from the dinner break. And that's good news. The issue, though, may be where there's not enough salt or some areas like side streets that don't get the salt treatments usually. Well, we've got these temperatures on the way here. It's 5 right now in Galesburg, 9 in Peru. We'll be in those upper single digits and low teens tonight. And with some of that moisture, drizzle, flurries that's in place here, some of those slick roads have a chance to freeze over during the overnight hours here. Already been some problems earlier this evening. Had some wrecks in the interstates and slide-offs reported across a good part of central Illinois here. We've got details on that on our website, WCIA.com. There's our temperatures tonight, down into the teens and even single digits. We're down to 6. That's it for Pontiac, 8 in Bloomington, 12 in Champaign and in Decatur. This is what it looks like from our Decatur camera. That camera sits up high. You can see that moisture on the lens. As those temperatures drop, this will freeze here. In fact, I tried moving this camera, frozen in place. Get that cold air closer to the surface. And elevated surfaces, some roads just need a little bit of ice in a few spots to cause problems here. And if you happen to hit one of those spots, then it's not going to be a fun night or a good start to the day tomorrow for you. That's when we think that black ice will continue here overnight tonight and into tomorrow. So just be aware of that. A lot of different departments and agencies. I've heard from Clark County. I've heard from Coles County. I've seen some from ISP across the area, from Springfield, Champaign. They've had their issues today. This is the latest look at road conditions. Partially covered in most areas of central Illinois. Some areas are better than others. It's almost like whack-a-mole where those patches of black ice will develop. Crews will get out there and salt real fast, but then they'll have a few more patches over here, and they'll have to salt there. And whack-a-mole around, if you catch what I'm saying. We're going to go ahead and call for medium impacts, though, from this into the night tonight and tomorrow morning. Likely expecting some slick spots out there across our region as those temperatures bottom out in those single digits and teens. The good news is, though, the sun comes up and the sunshine really works magic with ice on the roadways. Even though our temperatures don't get above freezing, those roads are really going to improve in the sunshine here, help to whisk some of that moisture away. We'll call those highs tomorrow in generally, I think, the low 30s. Wednesday, 40s. Thursday, 56 right now, 52 on Friday. Warmer air is on the way, but that warmer air will come with a cost here. First off, we get some stronger south winds. I think those wind gusts by tomorrow night into Wednesday and Thursday will fall between 30 and 40 miles an hour, gust higher at times possible. You need a stronger wind to get that warmer air this far north this time of year. The other thing is then by the end of the week, rain chances are back on the rise. I think Thursday probably more dry than not, a couple of isolated showers, but we'll go ahead and paint those rain chances higher on Friday and on Saturday. Get a little break, I think, Sunday, and then at some point Monday another system comes on through and yet again brings more rain. We'll have to watch that system, though. To the south of us, stronger storms on the table. To the north, snow. A little bit of pivot in that next week system, and we could find ourselves on either side of things. Here's my 7-day forecast tonight. We're down to 12. Some spots even colder than that. That wintry mix of drizzle comes to an end. And on the board, then you'll see here we got sunshine for Tuesday and on Wednesday. A couple of showers under a cloudy sky Thursday. Friday, Saturday, the wettest days here. Again, with next Monday with more of those rain showers on the board. The fun thing is with my 7-day forecast is once we get past Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, we don't have any below freezing temperatures. That's a big difference from this past week.
Sure is. I'm very grateful for it.
Yeah, I don't know if you had a chance to be outside in those 40 below wind chills, but even today felt better, and when we get to 56, it's going to be marvelous out there.
My car is grateful for it, too.
You're right about that. Those cars, outdoor equipment, things like that, they've really taken a beating in this cold weather.
And mine sure did. Thank you so much, Jacob. Next, we'll have a look at your national news.
Live from WCIX 49, this is your local news leader with Jessica Coons, meteorologist Kevin Leify, and Central Illinois' most accurate forecast. You're watching WCIA 3 News at 9 on X49.
A driving ban is in place for the city of Buffalo, New York, and the surrounding communities as officials are trying to clear the streets for first responders to help those in need. The storm is being blamed for at least 31 deaths in New York State and another 24 around the country. CBS has more on the storm, plus the holiday travel conditions.
There's no rest for emergency workers in western New York as they brave heavy snowfall and treacherous conditions. This plow rammed another one to free it from a snowbank.
Certainly it is the blizzard of the century.
Governor Kathy Hochul says there have been more than 550 rescues, but search teams have also found people who died in their cars and on the streets.
Everything that has been forecast, we have gotten in the city of Buffalo and then some.
Up to another foot of snow is expected to fall through Tuesday evening, adding to the 3.5 feet that came down over the weekend. The storm is part of a so-called bomb cyclone that brought high winds and frigid temperatures to millions of Americans and also disrupted holiday travel.
So when I finally found out my flight was going to take off today, I couldn't get out of my driveway because of an inch of ice.
With thousands of flights canceled or delayed Monday, some travelers scrambled to make other arrangements.
We get to the ticket counter, oh no, your flight is canceled.
Shell Dancy is trying to get back to Ohio with her husband and 2 children.
A very overwhelming, horrible feeling, because I need to get home today.
The cold weather is also being blamed for waterline breaks in Jackson, Mississippi. Many in the city, already dealing with ongoing water issues, have no water pressure. The city of Jackson issued a boil water advisory until further notice. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
Officials in Jackson say significant amounts of water are being produced and pushed into the system, but the pressure is not increasing. This leads them to believe there are significant leaks in the system that haven't been identified yet. More evidence of the benefits of the Mediterranean diet, plus the latest flu numbers. Your top health stories are next.
The news continues here on WCIA 3, your local news leader.
It was another week of high flu activity across the country. The Centers for Disease Control say cases are declining in most areas, but so far this season, there have been at least 18 million illnesses, 190,000 hospitalizations, and more than 12,000 deaths from flu. As flu cases soar, the White House says it'll release doses of prescription flu medication from the nation's strategic stockpile. States will be able to request doses of Tamiflu from the Department of Health and Human Services, as cases of flu and other illnesses are expected to remain high over the holidays. And still ahead, gas prices in Champaign have dropped in the last week. We'll tell you how much as people travel for the holidays.
This is WCIA 3 News, your local news leader.
Gas prices in Champaign have dropped 12 cents in the last week. Today's average is $3.04 per gallon. Gas Buddy says prices are almost 63 cents lower than a month ago and 19 cents lower than a year ago. As shoppers made their last-minute Christmas purchases across the country, they were getting those final gifts and stretching their buying power. Even though those sky-high inflation numbers are cooling down, many are dipping into their savings. And with weather causing havoc, sadly, some gifts didn't make it to their destinations in time. The holiday shopping season began with great expectations, but in November, consumer spending rose only 0.1%. Americans in one survey said they are buying 9 gifts this season, down from 16 a year ago. We'll have a final check of your forecast after this. But one more thing before we go tonight. Dozens of gifts donated to the group by the community, a yearly tradition, some to spend on Christmas Day. All these gifts will be given to the seniors who didn't have anyone to share Christmas with. Some were stolen, however, but one word got out, and in less than 24 hours, the community stepped up and all of the stolen gifts have been replaced.
Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Remember, black ice is a concern for tonight into the morning hours of tomorrow. Warming up, though, Scarlett. Look at those temperatures. 31 tomorrow. That feels nice. 44 on Wednesday, even nicer. 56 on Thursday. That feels really nice. The key is, though, the wind is going to pick up here across the region, and that's something that we're going to keep a close eye on as we move on forth with those temperatures getting just a little bit more mild, but, of course, with those rain chances, maybe not as great as we would like. Let's take a quick look at the 8 to 14-day temperature outlook here. The warmer weather may very well continue into a good part of January. It might be January 7th, 8th, 9th, somewhere in there before colder air returns back to the picture here. Scarlett, I don't think anyone's going to complain about a forecast like that. In fact, if you do the math, we went from a 40 below wind chill a couple of days ago by Thursday at 56. I'm just a meteorologist, but I think that's a 96-degree difference there when you talk about what it feels like, both before and after.
I'm not going to complain, that's for sure.
I think that's a bit of a hyperbole for Illinois weather.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Jacob, and thank you for joining us. We hope to see you on WCIA 3 News at 10.